So with the release of Wuthering Waves 2.7, we are getting two brand new 5-star resonators, one being Galbrina and the second being Chuyuwen. But alongside these two brand new 5-star resonators, we are getting reruns, and one of those reruns, in my opinion, is arguably one of, if not the most powerful and hardest hitting resonator in Wuthering Waves history. And there are people out there that are spreading misinformation and flat out lying to you, telling you that this isn't the case. And I am of course talking about the legendary Super Saiyan of Renacita being Zani. Now when I tell you this resonator hits like a steam train, I mean she really does hit like a steam train. This resonator hits so hard you can literally send all of your enemies to the Shadow Realm. Zani hits so goddamn hard she will literally send you to the astral plane to meet your ancestors. Not to mention that Zani is of the Spectra element, which indicates that she has the power of the divine, the gods, the deities of this realm. And also, the cherry on top, she quite literally is the legendary Super Saiyan of Wuthering Waves. I mean, who the hell doesn't want to have a character that can quite literally transform into the legendary Super Saiyan? I mean, come on now, let's be real. Out of all of the characters I have collected over the lifespan of Wuthering Waves, Zani is the one I resonate and connect with most. Honestly, she is my main. I am a Zani main. I am the #1 Zani shill. Say what you want, say what you like. You can say John's better, you can say Brant's better, though I don't know why. You can say Carlotta's better, and you could even say Augusta's better. And as much as I like the rest of these characters, except for Brant, Zani is the one that connects with me the most. Now, I have built and enjoy playing many different DPS units within the world of Wuthering Waves. I enjoy and I've built Carlotta, who I played a lot of. I built and enjoy playing Augusta, but none of these DPSs compare to the power and prestige that Zani brings to the table. This character deals 1 million plus damage easily. I have cleared every single aspect of the endgame modes thanks to this unit specifically. So when I hear in another video that a certain content creator is saying that this unit is a trap and this unit is not worth pulling, to that I say, you're wrong. Incorrect. You simply couldn't be further from the truth. It's not my fault you're too incompetent to use her properly. And before you scream, shout, and throw your toys out of the pram saying, but you're using an S6 Zani, to that I say,
yes. Yes, I am. Yes. Yes, I am. Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes. Yes, he does.
But the real question isn't whether I'm using an S6 Zani. No. The real question is, are you going to listen to the person that not only uses the Super Saiyan of Wuthering Waves, but looks like a Super Saiyan of Wuthering Waves? Or are we going to take advice from someone that paints their walls at 3 AM at night with a sock?
I think this is a really good way of how to paint a wall. This is how you paint a wall, right? I think this is good. Is this how you do it? I think this is fine. Yeah, I think we're cooking.
Yeah, need I say more? I'd also like to say that this Captain Cabinets, Captain Cabinetsu, Captain Cabinet, Captain Please for the love of God stay in the cabinet, has also summoned for an S6 character in the past. And the reason why she doesn't use this character is because she's too scared of her community, because they bully her into not using him. Yes.
Ironic.
Okay, all jokes aside, my flames, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about you guys when it comes to pulling Zani. Zani is a very good DPS. I'm not shifting on that one at all. Zani is a very powerful, very strong DPS. Now, so when it comes down to Zani's team compositions, there are going to be a few, in my opinion, a few different teams you can use. But the most important one you need to take note of if you do want to summon for Zani is Phoebe. If you've got Phoebe or have any intentions of getting Phoebe in the future, then Zani is going to be a very good DPS pick. Now, what Phoebe's going to be able to do is if you put Phoebe into the blue mode, there's like two different modes you can put Phoebe in. There's like a blue mode, a blue radiance mode, and that's going to help Zani build her radiance meter, her blazing radiance meter, which is going to help her deal the best amount of damage possible. This is also going to enable Zani to remain in her resonance liberation for longer, because the more radiant stack she has, the longer she can stay within her resonance liberation for. Pair these two with a Shorekeeper, this is going to be a near invincible, unstoppable, damaging force to be reckoned with. When I was saying that Zani hits like an absolute steam train, hits like a truck, it doesn't really matter what sequence nodes you have for Zani. If you have these three together, Zani is going to be dishing out a good amount of damage. Now, bearing in mind, I have an S6 Zani. I do have an S6 Zani, so you're not going to be able to do, most likely, what I'm going to be able to do when it comes down to damage and when it comes down to overall use of Zani. She's still going to be very good if you have her at S0 and have her weapon. I do recommend going for her weapon because this is the best in slot weapon she can possibly have. And look at that crit damage. We're talking near enough 50% crit damage increase, which is absolutely insane. Now also bear in mind that most of the damage that Zani can deal is considered to be heavy attack damage. When she's in her Resonance Liberation, every single hit that she lands is going to be counted towards her Resonance Liberation as heavy attack damage. So when it comes down to your echoes, make sure that you have a decent amount of heavy attack damage as a stat when it comes to your echo loadout. As you can see, this is my main in slot, this is my Nightmare Morning Ix, this is my Darius Knight, this is my Chop Chop Headless, and this is my Phantom Fae Ignis. Now my Chop Chop has an 8.6 damage bonus when it comes to heavy attack damage. My Darius Knight has a heavy attack damage bonus of 9.4%. So I've not got as much as I probably need to. However, because I have an S6 Zani, I don't need to focus on it too much. But when you're running an S0 R1 Zani, heavy attack damage is very useful. But overall, my echoes, I was very lucky when rolling for Zani's echoes. I do have a fair amount that have crit damage, crit rate, energy regen, heavy attack damage. Overall, they're very good echoes. Now, the secondary team that I find very fun, but then again isn't her best in slot team, but if you want to change it up a little bit, I run Zani, then I run Frolova as my sub DPS and a good support off-field damage dealer for Zani, and I also run Shorekeeper as well. Now, when I say this team specifically is niche and not a lot of people use this team, I really do mean it. So many people have criticized me and so many people have made fun of me for using this team, but in terms of fun and enjoyability, this team is very enjoyable. You're going to really be running Zani as your main damage dealer, Frolova as your off-field damage dealer. The first thing you're going to be wanting to do is pop Shorekeeper's ultimate, then you want to pop Frolova's ultimate, and then you're going to want to run Zani as your main damage dealer up front. She's going to be active as your off-field damage dealer, so you're going to be having Hecate dealing a good amount of damage. If you are someone that has built Frolova to do a lot of damage, and you have her as an off-field damage dealer with Zani and Frolova together do in fact deal a lot of damage. I'm not sure if it's when she's happy when you pop her Resonance Liberation or when she's sad when you pop it, but one of the two forms, one of the two variations will buff what Zani can do and overall deal an increased amount of damage. So yeah, I can't remember which one it is, but one of the forms and one of the variations of her Resonance Liberation is going to do a certain amount of bonus damage for when you're running Zani as your on-field and when you're running Frolova as an off-field damage dealer. But that is a very hyper niche team. I will only recommend this team for people that just want to try something new and have a good amount of fun and very chaotic, lots of colors, lots of different things going on, but it is fun. Also, another thing that I love about Zani's playstyle is that if you're good at timing and you're good at parrying, Zani is going to be near enough invincible. And the counter that she deals when you parry an attack is also very good. It's also going to deplete the vibration bar of the enemy, especially when it comes down to bosses. It's going to be very useful for boss fights. She works very well as a 1v1 character. When you're fighting a hologram, if you can parry and your parry window and your reaction time is good, she's going to be near enough invincible. The boss is not going to be able to touch you at all. She is so good, especially when it comes down to a 1v1. So if you're fighting a boss, she's going to be chef's kiss. But before I love you and leave you, I will say this. My final thoughts on whether I believe you should summon for Zani. Is she a very powerful DPS unit? Yes. Is she going to be required to have Phoebe if you want to deal the best amount of damage possible? Yes, you can swap Phoebe out for Spectro Rover, but it's not going to be as useful as Phoebe. You can do the secondary team that I mentioned for Rover, but I don't recommend it unless you just want to experiment. But when you do master that team composition, the team is very fun and the damage is pretty good. Zani is a very good parry character, so when it comes down to 1v1ing, like I just said with bosses, she's going to be very good at defense shredding those bosses, leaving them vulnerable for you to go into your Resonance Liberation and dealing the maximum amount of attack. Also, I just want to say, Cap, everything I said at the start of this video is satire, is a joke. I am winding you up. What Cap said in her video for the majority of it is correct. I'm very biased because I love this character. She is my main. I'm always going to main Zani. Even when I thought Augusta was going to take her place, she never did. I use Augusta a lot more than other resonators, but nowhere near as much as I use Zani. So I have an element of bias, and also I did S6 Zani. Granted, it was a very cheap S6. I didn't spend more than $140, $150, which in English pounds isn't a lot. So I was very, very fortunate to get an S6 Zani, but I'm just saying to you guys right now, if you want to go for Zani, you have to make sure you have her weapon, and please, I recommend having Phoebe, Spectra Rover, Shorekeeper, or at a push, another sub DPS that can buff what Zani can do. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll speak to you in the next one. Take it easy and have a good rest of your day.